The notion of weight, the idea of weight, but just get that in your mind now. Good. I want you to see what happens now if you start to imagine that weight increasing. Just start to imagine that weight increasing in your eyelids. Start imagining a significant change in the weight. Start to feel them getting heavier. Really imagine them getting heavier now. Imagine they get so heavy that there's just no way of lifting them. Imagine that they are so heavy there's no way of lifting them. And imagine that that's happening to you automatically, that there's nothing you can do about it. And when you know there's nothing you can do about it, when you can imagine that they are just that heavy, try and open them and find your time. Really try. Put all of your conscious effort into trying to open your eyes. Lift your eyebrows. Do whatever it takes. Really genuinely try as hard as you possibly can to open your eyes. Don't pretend. Imagine. Try and open them. Really, really try. Really try. And while you continue to try, depending on what kind of hypnosis and hypnotherapy you've done before, you might be used to different ways of going into a state of relaxation. I quite like the old-fashioned word sleep. It doesn't mean that you're actually going to be asleep. It simply means that you behave in a sleep-like way. You find that every muscle in your body instantly relaxes completely. You find that it's almost like the lights go out. You still kind of know what's going on around you, but it just becomes impossible to do anything other than to focus on the sound of my voice. And in your mind, as you count back from 5 down to 1, getting closer, ever closer to that moment of really deep, relaxing sleep. In your mind, just going down from 5, 4, just anticipating and feeling it beginning to happen. 3, getting ready to go really deep, deeper than you've been in a long, long time. 2, the anticipation building inside you. And as you take a deep breath in, 1, sleep and just relax and just let everything go. Completely out, go. All the way down, just deeper, deeper, relaxing, floating. All the way down like a ragdoll, just feeling your body melt. Just completely melt. That's it. You could just imagine that this feeling couldn't get any better, but in 3, 2, 1, it doubles. Down and down. Good. And in this really deep, relaxed place right now, I want you to just have an idea in your head. It doesn't matter whether you can see them or not. Just know them. I want you to imagine the cards spread out in front of you. Imagine being able to look back in your own memory and see just a few minutes ago as the cards were spread out. Imagine that. Nod your head that you can see that information before you now. In your mind's eye, you can imagine it there now. Nod your head. That's good. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to come up, not out of hypnosis, but just to a level where you'll be able to sit up, still with your eyes closed, and you'll be able to function physically, but still maintaining that really deep down feeling of relaxation. So as I count 1 to 3, just bring yourself up, good enough to function. 1, 2, 3. It's weird, because you're obviously not hypnotised at the moment, are you? No? You're completely awake, lucid in every way, but for some reason you can't open your hand. You've probably done this before many times, haven't you? No? This is the weird thing, your hand will only open. You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and you've had a dream? And the more you try and think about the dream, the further from your mind it goes. The more you remember the dream, the further from your mind it goes. That kind of weird feeling of trying to claw after that dream, that memory, but it's just evaporating in front of you. The more you try and think of it, the quicker it goes. You know that feeling, yeah? Your hand will only open when your mind does that with your name. So right now, thinking about your name and just starting to feel it drift away from you. And you can feel it drifting away like you're chasing after it. You're really clawing to keep hold of it, but as soon as it goes completely, your hand will open now. As soon as you feel it go completely, your hand will open.
Does that show my name go?
Yeah. So your hand is locked tight, yeah?
Yeah.
As soon as your name, you know what's your name?
Summer.
Summer, yeah? Okay, so you keep that in your head somewhere, don't you? With your other hand, point to where it is.
Point to where my name is?
Where in your head. You know right now, you know you keep your name inside your mind, don't you? Where do you keep it? Do you keep it up here or across here? Do you keep it at the back? Where do you keep your name?
I don't keep my name in my head.
It's not in your head?
No.
Where is it then?
have no idea.
You don't know where your name is? How do you know what your name is? If you don't know where your name is, how do you know what it is? Could you've forgotten a word before, haven't you?
Yes.
You've had that, what's that word? You know the feeling of that, yeah? Right, think about your name and have that feeling. Imagine being able to forget your name. Could you imagine forgetting your name? You guess?
Yes.
Or you can imagine?
I can imagine.
Yeah, imagine that you could forget your name right now. Imagine you could forget your name. Yeah? So actually hold that notion in your head, like it just, what is it? You're trying to find it, trying to search for it. But imagine it's happening to you automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do it, that you actually do genuinely for a time forget your name. Could you do that? So what's your name? I know, it's weird, it just goes. But the weird thing is because your name has gone, your hand is, look, your hand opens. Look, see? Because your hand is open, your name has gone completely, hasn't it? Try and find it, try and say it. Try to even remember what the first letter was.
I totally know now.
But for some reason it just doesn't come out, does it? I mean, really genuinely try. It's there in the back of your mind somewhere, but you just...
I love it so much. This is crazy.
Yeah? It's such a strange thing. But
awesome.
it's like an on-off switch. It's kind of like this weird on-off switch. So if you took your name and put it back, your name would be... But if you out of your mind and threw it away completely, as soon as it's gone completely, hasn't it? What's your name?
You're tripping me out. So cool.
Well, look, we'll put it back for good. It's back for good. And your name is?
Summer.
Perfect.